Good kill, good kill. Hey, good kill.
What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're here in the Viper. I want to do a quick video to show you guys how to dogfight in this thing for those of you who may have picked it up recently using your GS F-16 code and your 50% discount for new players. I want to show you how this thing dogfights. I'm sure you've seen a lot of it, and just like any other aircraft, you kind of you lose it if you don't use it, essentially. So we're going to enter the merge here against a Su-30 flanker, capable of thrust vectoring, by the way. And we're going to split SM at the merge here. Sometimes fighting in the Viper can be difficult, as you know, you end up too slow, you end up too fast. Fighting this flanker here, one of the major things I need to avoid is getting too slow. He'll get nose on here, he'll take a shot. They were kind of close, but no big deal. I really want to keep my speed above 350 knots. You'll probably see me struggle with that a little bit as we go. But I've been practicing a little bit with the Viper, and that's become a little bit easier for me as well. But basically what we're doing here, we're keeping him in a two-circle fight. Notice how I'm avoiding pulling him into the HUD. Right, I'm just kind of letting him, I'm driving to his high 6. Always flying to where he was. Remember, a two-circle fight is a nose-to-tail fight. Look at this, climbing over his nose to avoid those shots. Always watch his nose. And I'm always hunting his tail. And he's trying to get the nose-to-nose fight, which I'm not going for. And theoretically, if a Viper just does this, keeps you in that two-circle fight, you know, it'll eventually kill you. It's kind of like when a python, is it, that they wrap around you and every time you breathe it tightens a little bit? That's the Viper when it's, you know, got you in this two-circle fight. Every time you're doing a leaf, you know, you're doing one rotation in the turn in the two-circle against the Viper, it's tightening its grip on you a little bit. And eventually, when you're on the deck, at that point, you know, it's breaking your ribs, it's killing you. You know, it's just tightening the noose around you and you're going to die when you're on the deck. You're out of options. And that's what we're doing. We're maintaining 430 in the speed here in order to just slowly outrate this flanker, keep him away from forcing a one-circle fight, drive him down to the ground, and tighten as we go. And then we're going to snap him into the HUD and kill him. At least that's the objective, which is going pretty well so far. He's unable to force any kind of one-circle fight here. He's having a tremendous amount of trouble with that. He's tried to point his nose a couple times, but the Viper has had plenty of energy to just climb over. And here we go. He's pretty much on the ground now, so I'm going to dump the nose. You see our 400, 500 knots. 500 knots, we got to come off the AB a little bit. Control that speed. You don't want to get too fast. If you get too fast, you're going to make giant circles. Watch this. I'm going to pull him into the HUD so fast, he's going to have no reaction time. Watch this. Come on, come on, come on. Look at that. Look how fast that was. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Wow. He had no time to jink there. It all happened so quickly. That's how it goes with the Viper, man. You die so quickly. Its ability to just pull you in and kill you. Devastating. The F-16 is definitely one of my favorite dogfighters. When I initially started, it was difficult to learn how to constantly force the two-circle fights. You want to keep your speed up. There's really no situation where a Viper is going to enjoy being below 350 knots. In terms of, you know, and like here's the thing, sometimes the Viper will go one circle, and it's not like it's horrible there, but it definitely doesn't like to hang out in the one circle. The more you stay in the one circle, the more the other guy has the advantage. Alright, once again split S. And we talk about how, we literally talked about it in yesterday's video, oh, the kind of fight you choose, 1 circle, 2 circle, depends on your bandit, right? The Viper is an exception to that. Oh, well, he tried to point his nose there, you see that? The reason it's an exception to that is because it's just so dominant in the 2 circle fight. There's nothing that can take the Viper. Maybe the F-22. But, you know, no one else is going 2 circle with a Viper and winning. You know, so there's no reason for the Viper to ever do any other kind of fight. It's always going to be 2 circle fight against everything. And one of the very rare fighters out there that is like that. Chaff flare. Avoid that nose. Again, that's just good practice. Whenever you feel like you're entering an IR Wes, to drop your flares. As he goes up, I'm just pulling hard to avoid that nose. We're going to jink any incoming rounds. And we're a little bit slow. We're 280-ish knots now, which is not great, but you can see I'm not in a position where that flanker is going to take a shot at me, so I can kind of get away with it. There we go. He's trying to dump his nose and come 1 circle. I'm going to climb over his nose. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Patience as he is slowly outrated. And yes, he has thrust vectoring. Thrust vectoring is not going to be very useful to him in this situation, unless he wants a high AOA maneuver to get a gunshot. But generally speaking, if he uses his thrust vectoring in this situation, he's just going to bleed off speed and energy, and he's going to become an easy kill. Yes, I'm 280 knots. I'm still trying to keep it 2 circle, but I think I may have a gunshot opportunity lining up here. Wait for it. Right here. Right here. Yes, removal of that right wing. Very critical for flight. Splash 1 flanker. And that's what you gotta do. When you pull him in the HUD, he has to die. If he doesn't die, you're in big trouble. You just force the high aspect situation. You know, there's a bunch of mistakes there. If you pull him into the HUD, he has to die. Don't pull him into your HUD unless you know you can kill him. It's particularly important to not do that in the Viper, like to pull your bandit into the HUD. Keep him in, you know, an assessment window. The Viper doesn't have a canopy bow, so you just go 1 HUD's length above the HUD is where you should keep your bandit in order to maintain that lag pursuit, build your energy. As soon as you pull him into the HUD and you miss, you just force the high aspect situation. You're going to cross close to him and he's going to be able to reverse that turn. Now you're stuck in a 1 circle with him. And, you know, if he reverses it. Once again, split S. You want your turning room. As a guy who's fighting a Viper, you want to try to deny that turning room. Try to force that 1 circle. Try to get the Viper slow. But if the Viper guy does everything right, you're kind of in trouble. And to be honest, that flanker would probably kill me in a BVR fight. That thing is a very capable, beyond visual range fighter. Whereas the F-16, as many of you know, is literally built to dogfight. That's literally what it was supposed to do. Then it, you know, picked up other things along the way. But its meat and potatoes is dogfighting. So it's going to be very, very difficult to beat this thing. And I love this kind of dogfight because it really does feel like you're watching like a National Geographic thing. You're just watching a predator just hunt its prey and just lure it and, you know, chase it and tire it out and get it down to the deck. And then finally, you know, you've watched the evolution of the fight, and then on the deck you get the finishing move where the Viper finally sinks its fangs into its prey and they're killed. Kind of morbid, but Also fascinating to watch. That's what makes the Viper so deadly, man. That's exactly it. Yeah, you can probably kill him before you get him down to the deck, but I don't like to take those kind of chances with like a flanker, especially one with thrust vectoring. Just play it safe. 314 knots, we're going to pull him into the HUD here. He sees it, he tries to jink, he goes vertical, now he's slow, and he dies. And he dies horribly. A horrible fiery death. That's the Viper, man. It's almost like surgical in precision how this thing just, you know, does its job. It just outrates you and kills you. And in a lot of situations, if the Viper is flown correctly, there's very little you can do about it. Very little. Such a beast, the Viper. Okay, one more fight once again for those of you who stick around this long into the video. And also because I'm having a tremendous amount of fun in the Viper. There's something super satisfying about pulling a guy into your HUD and then he melts immediately. Dies a horrible fiery death, you know, the second after he gets pulled into the HUD. Alright, so here we go. We're going to do one more split S inverted merge here. Yep, there we go. Very good. When you hit that, you want to, when you go to the split S, you want to come out of AB, because then you'll end up way too fast. You'll end up like 600 knots on the way down. You don't want that. Alright, here we go. Same two-circle fight so far. Let's see if the flanker's got any tricks up his sleeve, if he's going to try to get creative here. Still just happy to be in that two-circle fight with me, it seems like, as he tries to figure out what he wants to do. And look at that massive nose dump. Big mistake. Big mistake. Pull him in the HUD. Pull him in the HUD. And he's dead. Surgical, man. Surgical. But you can't dump your nose like that. It opens up way too many angles. That's what happens. That's why you need to keep your lift vector on your bandit at all times, maneuver in relation to him. You can't just dump your nose and start, you know, try to go underneath him like that. Alright guys, that's today's video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye guys.